Hello daily drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's daily draft, the channel where me and the lands in my deck have a hate-hate relationship with each other. If you watched the last draft video, you know. And if you did not watch the last draft video, we end up with a winning record here most of the time. We've got a pretty good winning percentage on the channel, despite the lands in our deck trying to stab us in the back. So today we're going to hope that that goes a little bit better, starting with the Junkyard Genius. Everything else in this pack is pretty bad. There's a Recruitment Officer, which is arguably on par with this, but this card is very, very good. It's an absolute must answer. And if you're able to build your deck around it early, taking things like Goblin Blast Runners that I wish I could also take out of this pack, then it's very good. But we're going to start with the Junkyard Genius here, even though it's multicolored. Hope you're all enjoying the end of the Brothers War season here. We've got a few more drafts, probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 more until we begin set review season for Phyrexia All Will Be One. So be on the lookout for that. Here we have Mishra, Excavation Prodigy, Bitter Reunion, Thraxidemon, Gixian Infiltrator, and Mishra's Research Desk, all of which are pretty good. I think I might take the desk here. It's just really good card advantage. And sometimes these black-red decks struggle with that a little bit. So I think I'm actually going to take the Mishra's Research Desk here. And there's a good chance any one of those 4 other cards wheels. Even the Reconstructed Thopter might not be the end of the world. I've put Carrion Locust in my deck a few times, and now that I think about it, I think Reconstructed Thopter is just straight up better. It's a 3-mana 2/1 flyer. It doesn't get the exile, but then it has Unearth, and all that's just really good. So, alright, now we have an easy Excavation Explosion, pick 3, so the draft is kind of on easy mode at the moment. There's a Yotian Dissident, which I also like. And I really like that deck. Along with Great Desert Prospector, these 2 cards would be great together. But we're going to take the Excavation Explosion and start there. Now there's a Clay Revenant, an Emergency Weld, a Conscripted Infantry, Power Plant Worker. I think having access to an Emergency Weld is pretty good in decks like this. I would take a Conscripted Infantry, and I would play a Conscripted Infantry as well. But Emergency Weld, getting back Junkyard Genius if it dies, is all good things. Now there's a Ravenous Gigamole, Moment of Defiance, and then a couple other cards I probably don't want to play. We only have 1 creature so far, so the Gigamole might not end up being great for us. But I haven't been a big fan of Clay Revenant in most of the decks. Swift Spear, most of the time not good either. I have not wanted to main deck Race to the Ground, and in Moment of Defiance decks I really want to have some draw 2 synergies. So I think I'm going to take the Gigamole here, because these black-red decks do end up being a little bit more creature-based than normal. Now there's a Gruesome Realization of Thraxidemon. I think we're going to be able to have access to as many Thraxidemons as we want, so I'm going to take the Gruesome Realization here. I think something we struggled with in the last video with our black-red deck was card advantage. And, you know, Emergency Weld, Mishra's Research Desk, Realization, and Gigamole all help in that respect. Now there's an Infiltrator, which I don't really care about too much. I'll play if I have to. There's a Juggernaut, which is okay. There's also a Refractor. There's a Sibling Rivalry, but it's a little bit too expensive with Junkyard Genius. There's a Refractor, but do we care about that? Not a lot. I think I'll take my first copy of Juggernaut. I always like to have one of these in my red decks. Conscripted Infantry is not too bad. I think it's a pretty easy pick here over like a Whirling Strike or something. So are we on the wheel now? Yes, we are. An Infiltrator did come back. The Blast Runner did not, but that's expected. Combat Couriers, a lot of blue. But I think we are relatively solidified into black-red for the most part here. There we go. We got the Bitter Reunion back, we got a Thraxidemon and an Infiltrator back, so I think I'll take my first copy of Bitter Reunion. There's a Thraxidemon coming around that might actually wheel, but I like having access to at least one Bitter Reunion in these decks. Sometimes two, depending on the synergies. But I think one is going to be great. Going to be looking to fill out the 2-drop slot. And definitely the 1-drop slot with as many Goblin Blast Runners as we can find. Now there's Clay Revenant, there is a Trench Stalker, there's a Sibling Rivalry. I just haven't liked Clay Revenant, even with cards like Junkyard Genius and Gigamole. Bitter Reunion. I think I'll just take a random Trench Stalker here. Probably not playing it in this deck. So far, we have Realization and Reunion, I guess, as ways to draw to. What I've noticed about Black-Red is that your 3-drop slot gets crowded very quickly with Pendragon Strongbow, Junkyard Genius, Excavation Explosion. I mean, all those cards are all very good to include, but they're all 3-drops. Moment of Defiance, Raise to the Ground. All right, what do we got here? A whole lot of not great things. Fauna Shaman, no. Pyrrhic Blast, no. Refractor, probably not. Thraxidemon is probably the pick, and boy is that a bad pack 2 pick 1. There's a Rock Hunter. There's another Infiltrator, but this is probably going to wheel. I'm not going to miss this. I'm just going to take Energy Refractor and see if we find Scrapwork Cohorts or things like that. Or even like a Prison Sentence. We don't have any legendaries, no. So Unleash Shell. It's another Trench Stalker. I mean, the Prison Sentence can be splashed off of a Refractor, and if we find like an Evolving Wilds, it could be pretty good. There's another Thraxidemon. I think this one could wheel as well as the one in the previous pack. So I'm actually going to try to spike the Prison Sentence splash here. Now, unfortunately, we have the pick between Blast Runner and another Refractor. I'd love another Refractor so that we can take a bunch of, what's it called? Unearth, but I think we have to take Blast Runner. So I'm going to do that. And here are all the cards. Research Desk, Disfigure, Excavation, Rager. I think I'm going to take the Excavation, though, as much as I would like to have access to all these, although Disfigure is quite good, too. But Excavation Explosion is too good. Now a whole bunch of nothing. I guess I'll take another Trench Stalker. Although maybe Hero on the Dunes on the splash, if we're able to splash some white here, could be pretty good. And we have a lot of creatures down there already. Let's try to do this. Let's see if this happens. So Thraxidemon came around anyway. We got one. We'll probably get more. So I'll take this one. Here's the Carrion Locust. We could have had like 3 or 4 Great Desert Prospectors, but I guess I'll just take a random Carrion Locust. Another Emergency Weld or a Combat Trick. I'll take the Emergency Weld number 2. So we're looking for another Refractor and Evolving Wilds, more Blast Runners, some Disfigures. What's our curve looking like again? I mean, I guess Infiltrator's the best card for us out of that. Notably, the Thraxidemon didn't wheel, but we already got one. We don't really need many more than 1 or 2. And it's not outstanding. I mean, I don't really even like the Infiltrator, but the 2-drop slot gets very, or the 3-drop slot gets very crowded in black-red, and the 2-drops are a little underwhelming. Is this good? No. I mean, I'm not playing the intervention, though. I mean, it could be good with, like, Hero, Genius. Oh, Rager came back. So did Vermin, though. What's better there? I think I'm going to take the Vermin. The Rager is actually a little bit too expensive for our curve. It's not that expensive, but... Alright, anything good? There's a Blast Runner and an Evolving Wilds. Why do I always have to make the pick between the two things I want? It's like, give this to me and the next pick give me the Evolving Wilds. Because if this pack gets passed to me, it's between Bauble and Wilds here. And I'd probably take the Wilds, but I think I'm going to take the Blast Runner out of that pack. So what do I need? I need an Evolving Wilds, I need another Energy Refractor, and then a Tyrant of Care Ridges. That's what I need. Well, there's an Overwhelming Remorse, and we currently have 13 creatures, which isn't a lot. But I think this is the best card in this pack. So I'll take it. Here we go again, having to make the decision between Excavation Explosion and Evolving Wilds. Is it wild to take the Wilds here? Or is it crazy? Because it enables the splash for a removal spell and a Hero of the Dunes? I think we have to take Evolving Wilds here. Yeah, I don't particularly like having to make that decision, but I've been begging for one all draft, haven't I? So we got it. Makes the Blast Runners better too. Go for the Throat, Disfigure, and Bitter Reunion. Well, we're taking Go for the Throat, but man, we have to make some tough decisions here. And then there's this pack that has nothing. So we have packs where there's like 3 cards we actively want. And then there's other packs with literal nothing. So sometimes they break like that though. Another Hero of the Dunes or another Bitter Reunion here. I think I'm going to take a second Hero of the Dunes. Yeah, let's splash around a little bit. Why not? Can definitely do some things. We're a little creature light. So upping this creature count in the last 7 picks or so might be nice. So we have an Acrobat or a Rager. I think I'll take a Rager. Again, 3 drops are already pretty crowded here. Thraxodemon, not bad pickup. And then we get to the wheel with a Gigamole and a sibling rivalry, but I don't think the sibling rivalry is going to work out for us. So let's take that. Unleash Shell, maybe if we need it. I don't know. I doubt it. We'll have some cuts here, but I think we'll be able to make them. Another Gigamole. Huh. Well, we're at 18 creatures. What if we just cut like all of the non-creatures? Oh, Disfigure Wheeling. Awesome. Thank you very much. Wow. Did not expect that. Okay, we'll have an interesting deck build, but I think I want to try to splash around a little bit. Ooh, Bitter Reunion number 2 is also pretty good. Alright, let's see. I think we have to run 17 lands here because I basically need 2 planes. Because if I mill one on accident, then I've lost 2 sources of white for my 3 white cards. Well, these are tough cuts to make. We need these 2 drops. Maybe a Trench Stalker, but the more creatures we cut, the worse these Gigamoles get, and the worse the Hero of the Dunes get. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 creatures mana value 3 or less, which is like not a ton. We have a bunch of removal. I wonder if the splash is worth it. I'm not sure it is. Because we have some removal already. Which means we probably don't need that. And we're not really great at... Well, we have Double Reunion, Double Thraxodemon, Gruesome Realization, Rager as ways to draw 2 cards in a turn. I'm thinking 16 lands again because I hate myself. Sorry about that. The thing about the emergency welds is we don't have like outstanding creatures to be getting back. Plus the Gigamoles are going to be getting them back anyway. I might not mind running one of these. I think I want to keep the Carrion Locust in. Just because it's a flyer and this card is just not good. We don't have a ton of 2-drops, but this kind of counts as... It's not really a 2-drop. This is more like a 5-drop. Yeah, I mean, I guess that can be how we run it back. Would have liked to find a way to splash, and we technically can. I just don't think it's very good, and it probably makes our deck a little bit inconsistent. So with that, I'll see you in game number 1. All right, we go first with a suspect hand that needs black mana. But we have Blast Runner, Explosion, even if we draw one more red. And if we draw black, the hand is very good. And mulliganing is very bad. So I will yikes and keep. That's the exact opposite of what we needed. Our deck was like, hey, I heard you need black. I'll give you 2 of them on 1 card. Alright, see if we can find a land here. We did. Burnished Heart. I think I'll do that while they're tapped out, so they can't get the value of the ramp. I could Rager next turn off of the Power Stone as well. Yeah, I think I'm probably still Ragering here. Well, let's just attack. I don't think we're sacrificing anything. Ooh, punished. Oh well. I did that because I know we have 2 Blast Runners in the deck, but I forgot about the Disfigure. I'd like to Overwhelming Remorse that. So let's do this. Unfortunately, we're going to have to take 5. We could jump and then guarantee we can cast this next turn, but that doesn't seem very good either. Because we're barely even jumping, they still get to get 3 points of damage through. Power Stone Fracture? Okay. Worse things have happened. Now we can cast Remorse. And I think I will, because that exiles this. Got a bunch of removal in hand, which is good. Not a ton of threats, but they're at 11, so they're already kind of low. Okay. Okay. I think Disfigure on the Burnished Heart is pretty easy here. It's a pretty easy decision. And now we can actually unearth this. And we can get the trigger off of the Blast Runner as well. And even if we don't hit anything good, we still have an extra creature, a couple creatures to play. I'll just take the Thraxodemon. And now I think it's going to be pretty difficult for them to get out of this one here. Not impossible. They could have Tyrant of Carriages and things. Gix's Caress can find something, but they'll probably look at the hand and be like, uh-oh, that's a problem for me. As I'm looking through my last, my records for my last 5 drafts, I have started the draft with a win in every one of the 5 drafts. This win here makes 6. So the last 6 drafts we've had on the channel, we've started the draft with a win. Let's see if we can continue that win streak past just 1. All right, we go first, and the hand isn't outstanding, but I mean, it's hard to send it back. No, whoops. Now they get to exile our Evolving Wilds for free. I don't think it matters. We don't really have anything that cares about it, but still, it wasn't a great decision. Okay. Guess we're playing Carrion Locust here, and then we have a couple of Gigamoles. Okay. Definitely taking the Genius back. Let's just try to get some more value here. We've got... I'm actually just going to decline this one. Get the counter on it. Still get the value out of the graveyard. Because next turn we can Genius and Vermin, and then the following turn we can sacrifice the Power Stone, we can use Disfigure, and potentially even go for the Throat, and then that is a lot of damage. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna leave up... I'm gonna cast Blast Runner and Genius here. And gonna save my other creatures because we're gonna get Menace next turn if the Genius survives here. And if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. We're still in a decent spot. Looks like it won't. Yeah, it won't. Okay. Alright. We'll be okay, though. Yeah, like... we can just Explosion, Disfigure. Or actually, what we can do is go for the Throat, Disfigure, get in for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then Explosion is lethal next turn along with all of our creatures. So that's the reason I'm going to do it this way, rather than be mana efficient with Explosion. Because they're just dead to Explosion next turn. And now we have this lethal threat, we have this lethal threat. and all kinds of backup. There we go. That's how it's supposed to be done. Sure, why not? Okay, we go first with a pretty good hand here, I think. How do we want to lead this? Gnawing Vermin on 1, Blast Runner on... No. This is difficult sequencing here. I'd like to get the Evolving Wilds trigger on the Blast Runner, obviously. Actually, I'm going to lead on Vermin, and next turn we can play Blast Runner. The following turn... Alright, double Creature Mill, which is good for Overwhelming Remorse. But the following turn we can sacrifice the Wilds. Okay. I think we have to still crack the Wilds this turn. As much as I'd like to get another trigger here. Alright, we've got Gruesome Realization to refill the hand. We've got Overwhelming Remorse to remove something if we need to. We have Bitter Reunion. To give these +2/+2 in Menace. Although the problem is they can only trade for one of these if we do that. Let's see if we can refill the hand. And miss a couple land drops. But the Disfigure is good. It's a tough one. Probably going to have to Overwhelming Remorse that. Or go for the Throat. Sucks how they gained life off of it too. More than likely just going to disfigure their automaton end of turn here. Chose not to discard a card. All right, let's start loading the field in our hand here. It's pretty good mills. Let's decline. Let's keep him there. Okay. Found a land. Do it again. Okay. Found 4 lands off the top. Good for you. You cleared off 4 lands off the top of your deck. I would like... I can trade this for, like, an opportunist. I don't want to use the remorse to 2-for-1 them, because the remorse is very, very valued in our hand right now. Okay, good. They didn't want to. Yeah, I'll just keep taking the 2-for-1s, I guess. We're at 16 cards, but that's okay. Okay, that's also fine. Go to combat here. I could be attacking with the vermin, but it's just going to trade with the mutt right now, and that doesn't seem worth it. Would I rather another creature or a counter? I think I'll actually take the creature. And I'm actually going to play the creature here. I know I could keep the land for Bitter Reunion, but we'll draw more of those. We have 4 plus 6, so we have 6 lands left. So yeah, we'll find more lands here. All right. Gonna have to kind of watch out on the deck a little bit here. Just doing this to get the triggers all over. And then we can go in here. What do they got? Guy's Gift? That's fine. Okay, you go to 3. We still have a bunch of threats. We have a Junkyard Genius. We have a removal spell. We have a Juggernaut. We got it all. Our lands actually cooperated with us this game. It's been nice. I don't see them having a way out of the majority of the things that we have in our hand here. They have something to kill the Juggernaut. Either way, yeah, it'll kind of do it. Awesome. All right, thank you, Lance, for cooperating with us that turn, or that game. That was very nice. Very nice of you. Keep it up. All right, we go first with what looks like a pretty good hand here. Got a 2-drop, got a 4-drop. Can filter our hand, we can remove something, we're fine. Slightly off. Just ever so slightly. Ooh, drew that out of turn, but that's okay. Scrapwork Mutt. Yeah, it's a good card. I mean, we're not getting much better value out of that. I know they get to unearth it, so good for them, but I'm not going to explosion it. And now I know I'm getting rid of my 4th land here, which is risky, but I had a feeling I was going to find more, so we're good. Argothian Sprite, yep, and Disfigure. Okay. So they have the mana to disfigure the Blast Runner if they want to. A 2/3 is still fine on this board right now, and having this in hand seems okay. Because next turn we could just play it. So let's see if they disfigure the Blast Runner or not. They could disfigure our Gigamole next turn when we block. Or they'll just do it now. That's fine too. Okay. That means we still have blocks here. I guess I'm attacking? Well, we're trading 2 for 3, so no. I'll just play this. And then next turn I can Explosion the Opportunist and have attacks, depending on what they play here. Yeah, that'll be fine. And unearth that. Yeah, good. That means we can block both. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that here. The way it keeps attacks open. And now we could emergency weld, but like all we're getting back is like a infiltrator or a reunion, and that just doesn't seem very good. So I'm just not going to. I'm going to save it for extra value. Interesting. No play. What do they have here? Just an overwhelming remorse on the Juggernaut? Nothing. So I'm gonna decline, and the reason is so I can do this right now. That gets us more value. It gets us the extra counter. It lets us use our mana. I mean, I could have put it in the hand. Oh, they're just getting countered. That's fine. Why didn't they do that to eat the Gigamole then? Maybe they had options? Okay, Junkyard Genius. Ah, bushwhack, yep. So, looks like we have it here if they don't have anything. Oh, they have something. Sure, I'll take... How many do we have in yard right now? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So even if I take one back, this still costs only one. So what I'm going to do is take the Blast Runner. I'm going to play the Blast Runner. I'm going to sacrifice Bitter Reunion. I'm going to Overwhelming Remorse their sprite. And then that should be game. There we go. Awesome. Worked out again. 4-0. Let's keep it going. Alright, we have an interesting mono black deck here. I mean, we're keeping it because we have several plays. I always make that joke whenever we have all one color of mana and all of that same color. We have a mono-color deck, but obviously we have a red-black deck here, but we can play Thraxid Demon and then Gruesome Realization on 3 and then Gigamole on 4. Okay. Now the question is, do we just Gruesome Realization their Warplow? Or do we just trade? I'm just going to trade. Or at least offer the trade. 2-drop for 2-drop. This is a 2 for 1 if we use it to get cards. And I prefer cards. Yeah, I'm just going to draw the cards here. I know we could do that, and I could potentially hold it and see if they play another X1, but if they don't, then it's bad for us, and blah, blah, blah. Now we have an explosion for that if we need it. Okay. I'm going to do this here. And do I want another Blast Runner in hand? Or would I rather a counter? I think I'll take the Blast Runner here. I'm going to try to block Gigamole on Sprite, and I won't block Warplow because these double Blast Runners can block Warplow just fine. Well, yeah, mono Audacity. It's got Trample as well, so hopefully they don't have another trick to back this up. Looks like they do. Guy's Gift, yep. So now we play Blast Runner to block Warplow. We can Explosion the Sprite and then play another Blast Runner. They're drawing 2 cards, but they're going to do that no matter what. Do they have another Audacity? The audacity. There was an argument for go for the throat on the... But now I'm glad I didn't. Because that's going to be going right for the throat. That's also fine. Still have another trick, don't they? Interesting. I don't like that at all. If it's another guy's gift, then this is going to survive, and I do not like that. Oh, well, it could just be this activation here. I'm going to try to do this now and see if they have the protection or not. Good, they don't. Awesome. I forgot that this could just be the activation cost. Alright, what else you got here? Okay. Yeah, I hate flyers. They always destroy me. I'm gonna have to start racing, because if we just sit back and let this Carrion Locust keep hitting us, we're gonna lose. So we have to do something here. And that'll probably do it. Yeah. So now we're dead next turn. Basically no matter what. Unless we can find removal for this, and I'm not sure we have removal for that. Yeah, their deck is... I mean, their deck is just filled with powerful cards. So, Steel Seraph, Misery's Shadow, the Audacity is getting 2 for 1. Sometimes you lose. Alright, keepable hand here. Blue-red. No Iconoclast, please. That's almost as bad for us. Now, Gruesome Realization can get rid of that if they don't draw 2 cards in a turn. But we also have to find another black. Can also get rid of the Thopter. Fuck. Oh. Realization looking pretty good against this board right now. Although they're likely to sacrifice Combat Courier here, I would think. Yep. Now we can't block. Gruesome realization. Come on, quit taunting me. Quit taunting me. I can't afford to let that live, unfortunately. Gosh, black off the top there would have been great. Yep, they got the sacrifice for the blast runner. I thought about attacking, but like, if I did attack and they didn't have the sacrifice, we're trading 2 damage for 2 damage, which is a race we don't win. So they had to have a sacrifice for us to get punished there, and they did. And it could have been Combat Courier, but... They have nothing? Interesting. No attacks so that we can block here if they sacrifice, rather than block here where they would both die. In comes the Thopter. Don't know how to get out of this one here. I think I'm just going to hold up the Junkyard Genius activation. Yeah. Can't block. I mean, we could, but we would get blown out. That should kill us. And does it officially? I mean, we kind of have to like try to find something. I don't know what we have, but those certainly aren't it. So, yep. Autonomous Assembler. Good card when you can't deal with it. Alright, we go first. We have plays. So we'll keep those plays in our hand. Starting with black. And playing our other creature. And that'll probably kill us. As it always does. Maybe we can outrace it. We have no guarantee we're going to get anything back anytime soon. Probably wanted to animate the statue there. I could 2-for-1 myself to get through that. But I don't know how good that is. Good news is if they run out of tome counters on this thing, or if they try to accidentally put the 4th one on there, the creature dies. And then pass. I don't like that. Okay. Let's do this and then sacrifice. And this will be a 4/4. If they animate it, that's okay, because now we can just disfigure. I know we have to 2-for-1 ourselves to do it, but we can still disfigure the statue here. All right. And then we can do this as well. I know they can use it, but I mean, we got to get rid of it. All right, what else you got? Stop it. I am tired of your 4/4s. At least they didn't get Brotherhood's End in hand. Not gonna play the Bitter Reunion. Gonna wait till we have a land we want to pitch. Stop with the statues. My God! Oh my God! 3 animations. Oh man. Well, I'm gonna overwhelming remorse that. Oh, I should have just done it. I forgot this is going into the yard. Oh, that was a bad mistake. Ugh. Alright. Well. Let's go ahead and try to get rid of that. go to combat, hit for 2. Boy, do they have a deck. They have a deck of cards. That is for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure we're ever going to get anything better out of this. Okay, get rid of their 4/4. Alright, they can machine over matter something. They are drawing lots of lands, but so are we. I'm just going to attack with these two. They could have Koilos Rock. But they don't. So now I can do this. And they're pretty close to dead here, I would think. The Juggernaut and the Explosion combination. Uh-oh, this could lead to bad things. Let's see if they have their splash card. What is it? Yep, well, they kind of do. It's not the end of the world. Okay. Let's give it a shot here. Okay, they will bounce it to exile, but they're still dead if they don't have the counterspell, which they don't. Alright. That was a tough match to win, but I'm glad we ground through it. Good playing from our opponent. Alright, we go first with a good hand. Vermin. Realization. Nope, wrong card. Remorse in the Yard. Oh well. Bitter Reunion. Gonna hold off on that. Okay. Let's see what we need to do. They're either mono green or color screwed. My guess is mono green. That's gonna need to die. Didn't think they would go for it. And I'm just gonna hold up Disfigure here. Okay, yep. a little slow, but we can set up a big turn here in a couple turns. It's a good disfigure target. I'm just going to flood the board here. Because at some point we can disfigure and activate this and get a bunch of triggers and attack with all sorts of menace and stuff. And hopefully this time I'll remember to not attack with the genius itself. If it survives. That's a better disfigure target. Woof. Well, let's do this now. I'll take the creature, I guess. Got rid of Explosion, which kind of sucks, but... So we've milled Explosion and Remorse this game, which is never fun. But it is what it is. Alright, so they're just going to kill our Power Stone. That's fine. Alright, so they have nothing. So now is the time to go for it. Or is it? I'll do this. Then I'll do this. And then we'll attack. They can only block one creature, and their 3/3 has to die. Well, actually, they're going to do Clay Revenant and Opportunist on something. That makes sense. But they have to take like 15 damage to do that, so... Shoot down the research desk. Okay, it's not bad. But I'm wondering if it's good enough. Don't think it will be. Yeah, now it definitely isn't, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So if we have to sacrifice, if we did this, and then gave everything haste. Or do we just have lethal on board here? What if we played this, gave everything haste, attack with everything, and then just excavation explosion them to death? That seems like it'll work. Yeah. I'm willing to bet that their activation is the Soul Guide Lantern, so... just going to do this. They're going to block 2/2, they're going to take enough. Because we have explosion on the back end. Can't do that. Oh, and it's just lethal as it is. We don't even need the explosion. Sweet. All right, I believe we are now 6-2. One more, we attempt to get the trophy here. All right, we go first with another good hand. It's always difficult to decide what to play on one, but the reason I'm going to do Gnawing Vermin is because we have Disfigure. So next turn we could go Blast Runner and Disfigure. Ooh, nice. Good mill. I'll hold up Disfigure. Well, you know what? I'm actually just going to play the desk. That way next turn if we miss a land drop, we can actually crack this and try to find a land. Okay. We did not miss the land drop, so I'll hold off on cracking the desk for now. Now we have 2 removal spells and some extra card draw in hand. Let's see if this survives. So I think this is going to get explosioned now. Close enough. At least they're not playing to the board. Double top. I don't like to see that, though. Problem is, if we get the Gigamole and we don't draw a land, we can't use it. So... I think I have to take the land. And I could just explosion them in the face, and next turn research desk, sacrifice it, get the trigger again, disfigure, kill something, but I'm gonna wait on that. Okay, that's a good disfigured target. Well, I don't want to be discarding anything with Bitter Reunion, unfortunately, so I think I have to do this. So the mountain lets us explosion them in the face this turn. And then next turn they will be at 5. Although they do have something. I don't know what it is though. But I think just, we are so far ahead that I think the creature is better. It kind of telegraphs our next turn's play. But I think that's probably okay. Because if they kill the Blast Runner, then everything we've done kind of ends up being pretty bad. Okay. Now they go to 6. Next turn we could just unearth a Juggernaut. If we draw exactly a mountain, they die. Mountain off the top for the win. You're taunting me. Let's just do this. Trade the Carrion Locust. Probably trade the Juggernaut. Any mountain wins the game for us here. And there we go. Hopefully that does it. Can't imagine they're going to have life gain. Alright, red-black trophy. Sweet. Gotta love it. This deck was pretty nice and tight. The Blast Runners did some serious work. Junkyard Genius was great. Everything about this deck was just nice and solid. So this deck was much better than our last red-black one, and our mana situation ended up being a lot better today, even though we still had the same exact build of lands with an Evolving Wilds, 7 swamps, and 8 mountains. So we had the exact same thing of lands, and we didn't get screwed too many times. So that's what happens when your mana cooperates. You get all the way to 7 wins. So thanks so much for sticking around to the end of this video, and I will see you next time for your daily draft.